What's up? This is Moss. My new track Speed Dial with BRIA is out, and today I'm going to be jumping in and going into a little production breakdown over some of the things I did to make it. We'll give BRIA a call a little bit later. For now, let's jump into Ableton and see what's good. So Speed Dial is all about phones, cars, online dating, right? And I really wanted to capture that in a lot of the sounds and sound effects that I was using. I think the main thing is the synth and the drop, right? There's these little fluttery kind of synths throughout the whole thing. The synths, I've got them right here. They're called the Flutter synth bounce. So I've got some processing and a bunch of that sort of stuff. The main thing is this auto pan right here. So auto pan is a effect that makes everything go left and right. But if you change the phase, it puts it all one direction and turns it into a volume LFO. With this, if I turn auto pan off, this is what the synths sound like in the drop. And it's kind of really gritty and tonal, but if I turn auto pan on, gives that kind of like fluttery effect, as well as a phone kind of sound, like it's ringing but static but breaking up but not. Another thing I'm doing in there is changing the rate of this LFO. I've got it on the triangle shape. So right here, it changes, which is really cool. It creates a bit of a contrast in the track. And you know, it's not a Moss track without auto pan, it seems like. Let's start with the effects. There's a lot of sound effects in this song with cars and phone sounds, and let's jump into some of them here. Got the cars. So they have this pluck playing while BRIA's doing her verse, as well as the phone vibrating in the background too. These are only little small things in the background and little background elements to really accentuate what BRIA's saying and singing as well. Another cool thing that's happening in this section is I recreated like a phone texting sound as a sort of percussive and rhythmical element, just as a background effect to bring in some more drums and shakers too. It's only slight, and when you listen to the song, it's very, very minute and very small detail, but it helps carry the rhythm through in the song as well. There's a lot of really cool vocal processing going on in this track. The one thing I wanted to talk about was the bridge. It's really, really cool vocals from BRIA, and they're really, really soft, and I wanted to make them sound like they're coming through a phone and then open up to them sounding like she's right in front of you singing them. I used a thing called an auto filter and shaped it like this. If I turn that off, it's a lot cleaner and a lot more open, but by shaping it with an auto filter, I can really make it sound like it's coming through a phone. The biggest thing though is using a vocoder. Now a vocoder you can use on pretty much everything, but it's a really cool Ableton effect. And what I did was I got the chords from the song and put them as a source into BRIA's voice. If I turn that on, it really makes her voice quite robotic if I turn up the effect volume and all that sort of stuff as well. It sounds like very manipulated, but also like a chorus of BRIA's just singing this song. One thing I do in all of my tracks, and you may or may not have noticed it, but I like to add a breath somewhere. In Speed Dial, it's a backing element. If we listen to this, I'm using someone breathing as a background kind of driving rhythmical force, but in the track it's only very minor as well, just as a small little detail to keep things moving. Well, that's pretty much it for me on the production side, and a little bit of an insight into how I made the song. I'm gonna jump over to BRIA, give her a quick call and see what's good on the lyrics.
Hi guys, I'm BRIA and I'm going to take you through how I wrote Speed Dial. So I actually wrote Speed Dial the same day that I wrote my debut single, Taking It Off, which I didn't think both of them would see the light of day, so I did cross over some of the lyrics. That day I was in a very bad bitch hookup culture mood, and you can see that through both songs. I was heavily inspired by Carly Simon's Jessie, which is one of my all-time favorite songs, and she's basically singing about how an ex has come back into town and she's putting her foot down. She's not going to call him, she's not going to buy him flowers, she's not going to get dressed up, she's not going to get all pretty, she's going to like stand her ground. Then it gets to the end and she completely changes her tune. She's all like, Jessie, I'll always love you, I'll always wait by the phone for you, and you can see how that directly correlates to Speed Dial. When I got into the studio with Moss, I had all of these lyrics there ready from writing Taking It Off, and I told him, I was like, I want to write a bad bitch anthem. It needs to be empowering, it needs to be fun. But as we started writing it more, I found that like my true like human feelings were seeping through, and we all just want to be loved, you know what I mean? We went through so many pre-choruses trying to find the right one. Originally we were going with the fuck it, let's capture some hearts demo, and then I played around with some 2-bar ones, some 4-bar ones, and eventually we just landed on having no pre-chorus, which I don't know why we didn't think of it sooner. It's genius. Don't bore us, get to the chorus. That's my tip, that's my number one tip. The first half of Speed Dial is mostly a narrative of this girl and this guy's blowing up her phone. She's like, you've got me on speed dial, you're calling all the time, I'm sick of it, I'll leave you on red. But it gets towards the end of the piece, in the bridge in particular, and you sort of start to realize that she's the one waiting by the phone, she's the one hoping he'll text, she's the one texting back or playing hard to get, and he's probably not even that bothered. So we had all of the song finished. There was just this blank space in the bridge. The whole song itself is based around this one like chord loop. In the verses, we were originally ending the loop on a D major. We decided to end up with the C minor so that it resolves. I wanted to keep that tension when it got to the bridge so that the notes were implying that this person singing isn't really someone you can trust. So when we go to the D major in the end on the bridge, we're actually moving from a G natural minor to a G harmonic minor. The harmonic minor is known for being dark and having a lot of tension, maybe being a little bit exotic. And that line hits right after I sing the line, I wait by the phone to screen it, which completely flips the entire story. And that bridge, that tension really just sets the tone to build us up for a really cathartic chorus at the end there, where you've got all this new information, you know that she's the one waiting by the phone, but she's still there belting, oh, you've got me on speed dial, living her own little empowered baddie life. I'm BRIA, and that was my breakdown of Speed Dial.